Hi, this is Ron Rael of the High Road Institute. Thank you for viewing this video. One of the best ways to learn about something is to ask questions. In each video of this series, I respond to the top 5 questions posed to me regarding the topic. Many organizations make the mistake and make the budget the first thing that they do. That's the wrong approach. Your first item is to develop a strategic plan. What are the strategies towards your marketplace? What are you trying to accomplish? What strategies are you using to fulfill your mission? Then once you have a strategic plan, then you create an operating plan. Your operating plan are simply the goals that you're going to accomplish over the next 12 to 18 months. Those goals consume resources. Those goals require the spending of money. And hopefully some of those goals will mean you bring in money. Once you have the strategic plan and it is clear and you know what the business is about, and then you develop the operating plan, then you develop the operating budget. It's also known as the P&L budget. This budget then is your control mechanism to make sure you're carrying out the strategic plan, you're accomplishing the goals in the operating plan, that you're spending what you estimated to spend, and more importantly, you're bringing in the revenues that you felt that you needed to complete those goals. Your question is actually a complaint I hear a lot. Why do we constantly overspend no matter how much we budget? The answer is simply, the way you control expenses is to control people's behaviors. People's behaviors, what they do, what they don't do, translates into performance, and that performance consumes resources. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a salesperson who's making sales calls but doesn't really follow through, doesn't get the order. The person's busy, they're consuming resources, you're paying them, it's not translating into income. It's not translating into sales. Same thing with someone in an overhead department. They're processing paper. They're moving data from one spreadsheet to another. They're doing a lot of work, but none of it adds any value. None of it benefits the organization. So when you control what your people are doing, you control your expenses. It seems like there's a lot of work that goes into preparing a budget. Of course, it starts with developing the forecast for revenues, estimating the expenses. But there's more to it than that. You have headcount. The number of people that your organization employs affects your costs in many different ways. If you have buildings that you rent or that you own, you have occupancy costs, utilities, insurance, taxes, security. If you ship your materials or your products, if you have a service team that goes in after the sales and installs it or services the customer, if you have a warranty department, all those things affect your budget. At the time you are preparing your P&L budget or operating budget, you're also estimating the amount of activities because those activities consume resources. And so you need to know what those are so that you can develop a realistic budget that's built on what your business model is about. I'm glad that you have heard of the capital budget. It's surprising how many budget managers who are not versed in accounting don't know what that is. The capital budget simply is a plan for the expenditures, the large expenditures, what I call the bricks and mortar and tools that you use to operate your business. Operating expenses are those things that are consumed during the year, such as office supplies or postage or travel expense. Capital items are those that have a value to your business long after 1 year. A delivery truck, a desk, a large computer system, an improvement to your office space. All those affect your business but last more than a year. The capital budget are the money, is the amount of money that's allocated to cover those expenses. That's usually big dollars. In a small organization, it might be 500,000, and in a multinational organization, that could be billions of dollars annually. Yes, there is lots of budgeting software out there. So let me give you some hints and help to help you decide which is the right one for you. There are really inexpensive packages and really expensive packages and a few medium range. The inexpensive packages can run as low as $99 to $200. They are basically Excel spreadsheets that someone added macros to, a few features, and that's it. So you can pretty much do that with using your Excel spreadsheet. The really expensive packages start at $500,000 and go up. These are for large organizations that have thousands and thousands of employees and budgets in the billions of dollars. They're very expensive, and they're usually tied to some sort of operating system. In the middle, there are a few software titles that are not spreadsheets, and they're not the expensive one. But you have to ask yourself this question before you decide. If you have only 10 people doing a budgeting and you have to invest $10,000 in that software, is it worth it? In my estimation, 90% of the time, your Excel spreadsheet will be what you need. I appreciate you and would love to answer your questions. Click on the link and pose your inquiry to me. I will gladly answer the question in a future video.